Kieran, just tell us how you feel after that comeback.
I feel pretty good. To win a game like that, it obviously feels fantastic. Those are the type of games where probably all the way through the game you think you're not going to win. So there's got to be a belief in there somewhere deep inside you to keep yourself going, keep going for it. And I think we just showed that tonight. And then to come out on the right side of it, it's an awesome feeling.
At what point did you think we're back in this?
Oh, look, there was always plenty of time on the clock, even though we're down, I think, 14 sometimes, maybe even 16, I think, at one point, or 17. There was time on the clock, so there's always time for us to get back in the game. 10 minutes to go, down 12, I thought we were right in it. We're finally getting some momentum.
And what changed? What do you think changed to make it work?
We finally got the ball, maybe looked after it a bit better, and got on their half. I felt that majority of the game they dictated us, and they did a fantastic job at that, and we didn't really have much chance to impart anything really on them. So, it's probably one thing that we'll look back on and try and improve.
Do you see pride? Can you talk about how you feel about it?
Oh, you're very proud of the character they showed, and you think back a couple of weeks and we didn't manage the game that well, and I think Kieran and the leaders can take a lot of pleasure and satisfaction out of how they managed tonight's game, because as he said, it could have been easily one that we let go and allowed them to win, but they dug in deep and refused to give up. And sometimes if you keep knocking on the door, someone will open it and you can come in. And South Africa, I thought, played incredibly well, and are probably unlucky not to have won it. And whilst we were sitting in Wellington thinking we were a bit unlucky not to win, so two great Test matches, and I think great for the game, and everyone that watched it tonight would have gone home. Some people were a little disappointed, but they wouldn't have been disappointed in the rugby that was played.
Talk to us about your bench and what they did.
Oh, they did what we asked them to do. They provided energy and purpose, and someone like Artie had to come on early, and I think he's really growing. This season, I think he's really made a mark, and I think he's starting to believe that he can be a Test player of real quality too. So he got two great turnovers near the end, and obviously scored a try. But he had to go a long way into the game, then more than we wanted him to. And Richie came on and played well, and Patrick. All of them did their job. So once again, you just got to be pleased with them.
Ian, how much do you think Richie's going to benefit as a first five, being in that situation tonight as he goes on in his international career?
Oh, look, I think he'll reflect on it, and he'll obviously love the moment of kicking a winning goal. But it's the fact he was part of a group that came off the bench, and I thought showed a lot of energy and made some smart decisions too. Like he didn't panic with some of the penalties we got in the last 10. He took his time and kicked to the corner, and one lucky bounce, which we'll take. But overall, it's just another experience he can bank away. But again, he's added value when he's come on, so it's positive for us.
Kieran, you mentioned going into the last 10 minutes, feeling that momentum was starting to shift your way. Were you surprised that the Springboks took off some of the guys who had really, I think, provided a lot of that momentum for them in the game?
I'm not surprised. It's an 80-minute game, and I think you put pressure on guys if you play potentially some of them for 80 minutes. They've got quality players across the park, and it's just probably at that point of time where it potentially changed. Would it have happened the same? I'm not sure.
Question down the back here.
Stephen, what you've just said, you feel that eventually the bench almost made the big difference in this test today? From both sides, because it looked as though the Springboks lost momentum when they brought some of their players on, took some of their stars off, and the way your guys responded.
Yeah, we went to our bench really early for us. I think both props, and Patrick came on at 45, which is usually they're 55. So I think how you use your bench is a trump card, and I think both teams have got good benches. I just think that Rusty, he went deep into the game with his because he could afford to. But the point that Rito made is you got them there, and you got to play them at some point. It's an art to come off the bench and do something, and we train that a lot, and there's an expectation that they add to the game. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do, but you can't keep playing everyone for 80 minutes because they run out of petrol, particularly in a game as physical and as fast as the one tonight. So I think you're not going to have the momentum for the whole 80 minutes if you're playing against a quality team, and South Africa had it for a long period of time, but at some point if we kept just fronting up, believing we were going to have our turn, and then it was a matter of making sure that we made the most of our turn, and we got a little bit of luck, but I think both teams would have got the same amount of luck. It's just what you do with it, and so whilst we're really satisfied, we know we've got a lot of stuff we've got to work on too.
There you go, Ross.
Kieran, can you talk about the defence in the first half? Because you gave away so much ball that you were on your line and managed to hold out. What was the chat out there when you were doing that?
Yeah, for us, our defence does kind of measure where we're at in the game, and the guys were certainly up for it. Which is what you want leading into a game like this, and everyone worked hard. Probably the lesson around that is maybe we worked a bit too hard or got a bit too urgent, and gave away a few penalties, which sometimes doesn't help you. But the effort from the lads is outstanding, and that's what you want to see from your guys. And it was a great effort tonight.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Steve, were you surprised at all by the Boxers' kicking tactics, and particularly in that first half, putting it into the corner and turning you guys around quite a bit?
No, because it's the type of game they always play when we play up here on the high veld. They want to look after their big men up front, and their kicking game is really important to do that. And I think it was a smart play. You don't want to be running sideways one side of the field to the other side of the field because you're going to run out of petrol at some point, and they may have felt that we might have had a bigger tank than them, and so they were smart. They turned us around and didn't allow us to get into the game, and as Rito said, there was long periods where we didn't touch the ball and we had to defend really well, and when we did get it back, we were probably overexcited and gave away a penalty or turned it back over ourselves, so particularly in that first 25-30 minutes, and so not surprised by it. I think it was a smart play.
Kieran.
Sorry, Kieran.
Kieran, looking at the Springboks this year versus how they were last year, what sort of difference would you say you see between the two teams? I mean, the last time, you guys put 57-0 past them last year, and then they beat you guys last time out in Wellington, but now coming to this game here, how much changes would you say you see in the Springboks?
Yeah, look, I think we showed last year in Cape Town. It was a hell of a tough game, and we just snuck across the line there. So they're capable. They're a side that's very capable when they turn up, and they've shown this year against us and against Australia at home that they're a side that knows how to win in some tight situations. Tonight it went our way, but I look at their team, and they're a side that always has a great forward back, and they've got that and will have that moving forward. But some smart men like Pollard's really kind of coming into his own as a first five. And the attacking threats you've got out wide is, makes us really analyse them, and they score some awesome tries. So look, they're a team that's going really well, and we respect them for that.
Kieran, when you were lined up before the match, you had one of those impy guys right in your face. What did you make of that, and can you reveal what was said to you?
I was just doing what you guys are doing. I was laughing. It was bizarre, to be honest. Couldn't do much more than laugh because it was, he's not part of the game. It was, so hey, it was awesome. He was probably pretty pumped up. He might have got us something out of it, but didn't worry me.
You can't knock a man's passion.
Over here, Rito.
Hi, Kieran, Coach. I just want to know, how does this prepare you for next year's World Cup? I think we all want to know.
I think everyone gets excited about, this game's going to make a difference at the World Cup. It won't matter a hoot. What it will do is for our young players who haven't been in a situation when they've been behind before, they'll put their head on the pillow tonight, understanding that don't stop believing. And I guess for the South Africans it'll be don't stop playing, don't give an inch, and so both teams will get plenty out of it from that point of view. But what it means for the World Cup, I think back to the last World Cup, and we'd played South Africa quite a number of times and come out on the right side of the scoreboard, and we snuck home by 2 points, and on the day South Africa could have easily won that game. So it's just what happens on any given day, how you turn up, how you respond to the challenges that come. So I'm with Rito. I think they're building a good side, and we're trying to build one too.
Heinz, where you go?
Stephen Ian, Beauden Barrett hasn't missed a kick since Wellington. He's 100%, 6 of 6. Why do you take the kicking off when Richie comes on?
Yeah, good question. I think he was breathing a bit hard, and he got a lot of faith in Richie. And I think when Richie came on, it was more about those two made a decision. And a little bit like the week before when Richie came on and took over the goal kicking. So it wasn't a definite strategy, but those two, we kind of trust the decisions that they make on the park. So he banged over a couple of goodies, and good experience for Richie.
What does that tell you about Beauden, that he's willing to relieve that, knowing that it's obviously a big occasion? What does that tell you about him as a guy and his leadership in this group?
Oh, he's part of a group, a leaders group that's working really hard to make sure that we put the team first in everything we do. And for him at that point, they decided that's how they wanted to work it. So I'd have been quite happy for him to carry on kicking. He's kicking pretty well. But it's a real boost for Richie too, to have the confidence shown in him by Bodie to go and kick the goals.
And I'd add to that, I think Beauden, as one of the leaders in the team, he saw that as an opportunity for him to be able to get back to halfway and help Rito manage the group as well, which I think is, neither one of us would have been quite happy if he'd kept kicking, but he made that decision, and I think he made it based around some of the leadership stuff as well, and it's a smart play.
In the middle, sorry, we've got a microphone here, in the middle.
Stephen, in the two tests, All Blacks South Africa test, it seemed that the team that did the most running actually ended up on the wrong side of the scoreboard. What does it say about the tricky nature of test rugby?
The what of test rugby?
The tricky nature of test rugby.
I don't know. I just think it, on the night in Wellington, we didn't get the job done, and tonight South Africa didn't get the job done. So, but both sides, teams, in their respective nights, were pretty happy to come away with a win. And tonight we're very happy. We, as I said before, one of the big lessons we'll take from tonight, the big learnings, and you can't buy it, is self-belief and never giving in, and keep knocking on the door. And sometimes you won't get back, but tonight we did, and what that will do is feed the group self-belief. So
we'll wrap it up there because we've got the Springboks coming in.
Thanks, guys.